Hi, in today's video I'm going to be reviewing the Jujubee Be Light and the Jujubee Super V Bag. Has a beach and travel bag. I will also be sharing some hacks and tips with you on using these bags. Hi lovely mamas, it's Shen here from Mama Banana. I share hacks, tips and product reviews with all you mamas out there. So I'm currently away in Spain and I've been here for about 10 days now. So that's 10 days in a row that we have been to the beach every day, and over the course of this time we have been using these two Jujubee bags interchangeably, alright? And I just thought I'd share with you my thoughts. So the Super V is a gorgeous beach bag. I absolutely love it, and the fact that on the front here it has two insulated pockets makes it super handy. It just helps keep the drinks cool, and it has all these mesh pockets on the inside, so it helps to keep everything organized. I used this exclusively for about a week. I thought it was great. The only thing is, right, even though it's a very generous size, it just quite wasn't big enough for me to fit everything in easily. So I have two young girls, a 2-year-old toddler and an 8-month-old baby, and because we live right across the road from the beach, it's just we bring a lot with us. So while it worked fine for a while, once we bought more and more beach toys, it just wasn't quite big enough. We were able to fit in 3 large beach towels, and we're also able to hook on the toys to the external of the bag. I'll show you a hack on that later, but it still wasn't quick enough to pack everything up into it quickly at the end. So what I ended up doing is I used my Be Light bag, alright? So I put all my fuel cell, change of clothes, suntan lotion, etc. into this bag, and then I used a regular Ikea bag. Okay, so I actually found that this was the best way for me to bring everything to the beach. So I'll have the Be Light packed up with all the beach essentials, and then all the toys, towels, etc. I'll throw into the large Ikea bag. I just find that I needed the Be Light to help keep all our little bits organized, but by using the Ikea bag it meant that when we were ready to go, we could just quickly grab all the towels, throw it in here along with the toys, shovel, buckets, everything. It meant that we can leave the beach much quicker, which is essential at the end of the beach day, because at the end of the day usually my daughter would then be out in the sea swimming, so she'll come back cold and wet. So we need to leave the beach as quickly as possible. So I found that rather than trying to fold everything up and squeeze it back into Super V, that this was the most efficient way for us. Okay, and I actually think the Ikea bag itself could be a great beach bag for some other mamas out there on a budget, but it does lack organization. So using one of these Jujubee bags, either the Be Light or the Super V, so that you still have some organization is perfect. And then in terms of a travel bag, so I used my Jujubee Be Right back as a travel backpack going through the airport and on the flight, but within it I kept a folded up Be Light bag. So I had my Be Light folded up really small like this, and I kept it in my Be Right back, so that before we went on the flight I put in all our food, all the kids' entertainment right into this, and then this was the bag that we used when we were on the airplane, and it was just so handy rather than routing through the Be Right back constantly, because it was just more awkward to get to. This has just one big large hole for us to grab everything, and the fact that it has a zipper on it, it means that it stops everything from falling out, so it's better than just a regular tote bag. So all in all, I think that they are both great for the beach, but for me I will use the Be Light in conjunction with the Ikea bag. I find that that is the most efficient way for us to leave the beach as quickly as possible with cold, wet children, so that we can bring them home as quickly as possible to get them dry. I have a couple of hacks for you on how you can attach beach toys onto the Super V bag without having to get sand inside the bag itself. So you use the key leash here, and if you have something like a sandcastle bucket, you could just wrap the key leash around it and then you can hook it on to the bag. You don't need to loop it all the way through the fabric, you just need to clip it on so that it will hold itself on there. I usually clip it onto the handle here, but if you have something much larger like those flotation toys or a life jacket where the leash will have a lot of slack, you can hook it onto the D-ring fob at the back here. But you can really loop it onto anywhere so that your leash won't be too long and the toys won't be left dangling. If you're using the Be Light as your beach bag, you can use the handle, alright, to loop it around your beach bucket, and that way again you're also keeping the sand outside of the bag and you can carry that bit more. Or if you have your Paci Pod with you, you can use your Paci Pod as an attachment to loop beach toys around the handle of your Be Light. And it's attached just like that. Or if you have a carabiner clip, which is super handy, you can attach that onto a handle and then clip it onto anything that you want. What I would highly recommend is, if you're going on a beach holiday, is to get yourself one of these type of mesh bags to put all the toys into. This is great. I got this from Argos when I bought some balls for a ball pit. Alright, so this came with it. This is what all the balls came in. It's a little zip bag and it's got a handle on it, and it's absolutely perfect for beach toys. So you can easily just loop the handle of your Be Light around the handle of the mesh bag and then just throw it over your shoulder like that. You can also use your Paci Pod to attach the mesh bag onto your bag without having to thread it through. So first of all, I would thread the Paci Pod through the D-ring fob on the Be Light. I like to thread it here as opposed to the handle so that it's not sliding around the handle. And then I grab the mesh bag and throw the handle of this through the loop here. And then I grab the handle and throw that around the whole Paci Pod. And then the mesh bag is held in place just like that. So it's very quick and easy and no fiddling around with little thumb fobs and all. Some of you may have seen already, the Sensible Mama, she shared a hack on the Super V using it as a beach bag. So what she did was she turned it inside out, and I was actually really keen to try this out for myself. So after a couple of days of using the bag the right way around, which I really wanted to because this has such a cute print on it, eventually I did turn it inside out. I'm annoyed with myself for not having it used like this sooner, because I actually found it so much handier. Because the bag, alright, I would pack it and my husband will also be using it as well. He's constantly asking me, where things are. But when you turn it inside out, you have two clear mesh bags on the outside. So I think that we would grab regularly, like suntan lotion, tissues, etc. Then you can see exactly where it is. So there's no more rooting around the bag looking for things. So I thought this was a brilliant hack. And I absolutely did use this and love this while I was using the Super V on holidays. So I have the Super V here packed up for a day at the beach using the inside out hack, and in the mesh pockets on the outside I have things I would grab frequently like suntan lotion, and then on the inside I have all our essentials for the day. I have a fuel cell packed up with snacks, and then I have a wet dry bag packed up with a change of clothes for my daughter, and we can also pop in the wet gear after. And in the insulation pocket I have drinks, And I also have my Infantino baby carrier. This is great. It's super lightweight and it folds up into a waist pouch. And then as you can see on the outside of the bag, you can still see the super cute print. I hope you found this video useful. If you did, please do hit the like button down below and be sure to hit the subscribe button and the bell right beside it to receive notifications of my latest videos. Earlier this week I uploaded a video on holiday hacks and tips, so if you'd like to watch that, I will include a link in the cards up above. I just scored myself a Hello Kitty Hello Rainbows mini BFF bag online, so that should arrive within the next 2 weeks. There will be a review video on that, so if you want to see that, do be sure to hit the subscribe button so you'll be notified of my latest videos.